Good afternoon, well, and good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to TalkSports. It is our weekend program or weekly program, weekend in particular, where we speak to the movers and shakers in sports, the sportsmen, sportswomen, coaches, sports administrators, just about everyone who's involved in sports. Pleasant good afternoon once again, and coming to you live from the what do I say, the action city for this weekend, New Orleans, in Louisiana. And let me say, pleasant good afternoon also to my co-host, Rudian Sylvan in Toronto. Good afternoon to you, Rudian.
Hey, good afternoon, Michael. And let me say to you and another happy independence to you and to the listeners, our Grenadian, a happy 51st independent to you.
Yes,
Surely, it's always good to celebrate something as this as a milestone when you're around to see that. It's certainly is a good thing.
yeah, always a proud moment. It's like celebrating your birthday, right? But
Yes,
this
yes,
time it's
yes.
the nation's birthday, right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, brother.
So it's nice having you, Rudian, and it's indicated we'll be talking a couple of things. It's our first open discussion, basically, for the month. Well, and quite an eye opener from our program last weekend in terms of basketball.
Certainly, certainly.
Yes, in terms of basketball. And then I wanted to touch a bit on some of the programs that's happening. Well, we know secondary schools basketball completed over the last few days. We have regional cricket in the air, and of course, track and field. Not forgetting that this weekend is the big Super Bowl, right? It's Super Bowl weekend, so that also will be a part of it. Yes. So, good afternoon to you, Gordon. um, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness.
Fly, eagles, fly.
Fly, and Hazel, good
Hey, so how
afternoon.
are you?
It was
I hope you had a
Hazel.
wonderful birthday. I hope you celebrate
Yeah.
with your family beyond, extraordinary. So really hope you enjoyed Hazel.
Yes, Hazel, I had crawfish. Probably I had too much crawfish so far. I had crawfish. I I cannot lie on that. I had quite a bit. In fact, later on, I'll show you a bowl of crawfish I had. Yes, uh, crawfish is almost like what we call crayfish, right?
Crayfish,
But
yeah,
it
yeah,
is
yeah.
it is a Louisiana thing, and if you're in New Orleans in particular, but New Orleans, you cannot
Yeah,
leave New Orleans without
without
eating
having.
crawfish, without the they have a couple of things. Jambala. Hazel will give me the correct name. Yeah, but they have a couple of things that you cannot leave. It's a lot of Creole cooking and eating and things like that. So,
Yep, yep, yep,
right?
it is.
So there are certain things that you must have to, have a taste of. Um, you know, oysters, for example, they're big on oysters, right? I can tell you that.
So when you're in New Orleans, you got to eat like in New Orleans.
Yes, there are some things that I will mention to you that you may want to eat. Well, the boiled crawfish is certainly the go, right? Yeah, you have the oysters. I'll tell you what you really need to get. Alligator. You probably may want to taste some frog legs, right? You may want to taste some frog legs.
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good with the frog legs. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
gumbo, gumbo, the gumbo, seafood gumbo, Creole seafood
Super
gumbo. The
gumbo.
gumbo
Yeah.
is a sort of mix of food and things, seafood gumbo, right? These are some of the things that certainly you'll want to taste. Um, I'm just looking at quickly at a menu, you know. Um, yeah, they call it the po' boy menu, right? Yes, so quite a bit that you can eat. Listen, you cannot go hungry in New Orleans. Certainly, you cannot go hungry. Hazel says she's not eating alligator.
No,
from.
I'm good with that. I agree with you. I'm good on that side.
Yeah,
I,
I
I
haven't
I'm good with that.
I haven't tasted it as yet, but I've been you know they keep telling me, folks keep telling me, hey, you cannot leave without tasting
Trying
it.
it.
Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, I still, I still contemplating. Yeah, right. Yeah, still contemplating. But by the way, a lot of action, taking place in New Orleans this weekend. In fact, I just got out from the airport, so and it's just buzzing with activities because the fans are arriving in particular, right? And whoa, I had a little thing of some of the folks coming in yesterday and then today, and then the greetings. They're giving them a New Orleans greetings on the airport where you have to get your beads and all these sort of things, and they have the Eagles coming, they have the Chiefs coming, and those folks with the t-shirts and the headgear, and I mean it's just, I mean, listen, I remember Vegas last year and even Phoenix the year before because this was my third one
Yeah, yeah.
consecutively, and that's how they come in. But when they're leaving, it's a different thing. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of trash talking because you will have folks leaving from different cities
Sad.
and have to be on the same flight. You know,
Yep.
so
Yep.
that's the thing about it. Let me just give you some of what happened yesterday. That was that was Friday. Yes, that was Friday. Right. What happened All right, so that was Friday, and certainly, the folks would have come in for all the little weekend parties and things like that. Today is Thursday. New Orleans special music, dancehall. So yeah, so this certainly was some of the activities that were going on for the the greeting the folks, getting them
Yeah.
in the vibes for Super
Nice. Yeah,
Bowl,
yeah.
and certainly you see all sorts of characters, arriving. Let me give you a final one.
Beachville, North Carolina. Are you from there? No, but I used to work with a company that has a chicken. Okay. Chicken processing. Thank you. Welcome to New Orleans, folks. I'd like to.
Yeah, Rudian, you get me there now? Right, certainly. Quite a bit, quite a bit.
Certainly, you get to see it all coming in.
Yeah, and we have some comments there from Taylor Swift be coming through.
She
I
no,
know.
she had different. She coming through a different airport, man. She ain't coming through
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I know, I know,
A different exit, a different exit.
I know. It would be interesting, right? On the weekend for Super Bowl, quite a bit, a lot of
Listen,
activity.
it is certainly the biggest one day sporting event in America,
Yeah,
and not only in America, maybe the global world, maybe just for the one day.
but
Um,
it has a large following because remember they take
yes,
Super Bowl to other parts of the NFL.
Australia,
They
Australia,
take American football,
Germany, yeah,
London,
England, yeah,
England, Mexico City.
Mexico, yeah, Australia. Well, at least they
Right.
have Australian players.
Right, they
Yeah,
have Australian players,
yeah,
especially the kickers, right? They use a lot
yeah,
of the kickers, right?
yeah.
But in terms of the regular season, they will play games in Mexico City, London, and
Mexico
Germany,
and
right?
Germany. Yeah,
Right, and
they
things like
did
that.
play it one time in Toronto, but I don't think they do it anymore because the Sky Dome now is just for baseball.
Okay, right. Okay,
Yeah,
so
so they don't do football in there no more. It's just for baseball now. So
okay,
that's why.
that's understandable.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll come back a little more to the to talk about Super Bowl, but I want to congratulate the Presentation Brothers College on winning the secondary schools Subway Secondary Schools basketball tournament,
Yeah.
defeating the Grenada Boys Secondary School in the well 2 games to one. The third game, the best of three. They won the first, GBSS won the second, and the Presentation Brothers College came back and they won the third and deciding game, right? As it relates to the girls, right? As far as I know, the Grenville Secondary School won the girls. They defeated Anakin High School in the championship game. The GSS defeated Anakin, let me see, 45-11, right? Interestingly, GSS, that's Grenville Secondary School, won 45 to 11. Of that 45 points scored, 30 of that 45 was, scored by Antonia George. Well, she was the player of the game because she had 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 steals, Shauna Francis, 8.5 rebounds, 7 steals. And Anakin High School, Caniel Francis, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks, right? Um, so that's the female championships, the female division, the 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 Grenville Secondary School defeating the Anakin High School. Is it? Yeah, that's what I have there from the. Thank you very much from the Ministry of Sports. Yep. In terms of the final, in fact today, by the way, before I start, today is the actual prize giving, the what they call the All Star game and
Mhm.
and the All Star Day and prize giving ceremony. That should have started today. I mean, sorry, at 10 o'clock their time. Right. In the final, PBC won 85-75, so it was a 10-point difference for the PBC over the GDSS. Ori Ikolo, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 1 block, 3 steals. Kenlon Charles, 22 points, and Anthony Thomas, 18 points. Dante Oliver also had 14, and that's for the PBC. On the GBSS side, Rashad Abraham, 26 points. Jalen St. Louis, 17. Kaylin Noel, 6. And Clint Felix also with 6 points. So congratulations to the
The boys.
Presentation Brothers College on winning the Subway Secondary Schools basketball. The hope is that coming out of this tournament, that the organizers would have seen, or even the Basketball Association would have seen, young players with talent and start putting these guys together to develop and build your team. Based on what we heard from last week,
Last week, yeah.
Rudian, it appears that the verdict in terms of basketball, the quality of play in terms of basketball in Grenada is very poor, substandard. They mentions a couple of players, but in terms overall,
Overall, yeah.
it needs to be improved. So this could be an opportunity for the Basketball Association, to use those as a feeder for now, and hopefully getting the folks at the primary schools, more involved in basketball
Okay.
development
Yeah.
programs, so that by the time they get into the secondary schools, they understand that they have learned the fundamentals of the game, and that
Of the
should be in
game.
every
Yeah.
sport. That should be in
Yeah.
every sport,
Yeah.
right? I can say for tennis, I know Richie Hughes, for example, had this program where he had involved a lot of the primary schools in the tennis program. And what we saw was that by the time those young folks got into the secondary school, right, the quality of tennis from the
So
very
tennis, yeah.
remarkable.
Yeah.
So you just have to introduce them into the whole fundamental. Like Richie used to just give them the opportunity to just serve, take the racket,
Yeah.
take the ball,
Take rocket,
and
yeah.
getting them to serve ball, being able to handle or hold the racket, and then you move them to the next stage, and things like that. This is what we have to look at. Good afternoon to you, Kyron. And he says, I think that the student, I believe the coaches are trying to develop as the next prospect. She has good length and wingspan and should be nurtured and developed. That would be Antonia George, I think you're referring to, that top player from the Grenville Secondary School, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, let me see. Her name is Antonia George. Yeah. So I'm hoping that that could be a starting, an opportunity, because remember last week we were speaking about that with the hope that such and such, there is hope. As it relates to what again? Oh, one bit of news, folks, regarding boxing. So you remember, Rudy, and some months ago we had, you remember the whole issue with boxing?
Yeah. The boxing, yeah. Two boxing, yeah.
Associations, blah blah blah. So apparently, the new boxing association, which is Grenada Boxing Association Inc.
Yeah.
They have been accepted in terms of membership with World Boxing. This is the new
Yeah.
boxing federation, World Boxing, which the IOC apparently may recognize. And the
Okay.
hope is that because we had the IBA, which is the International Boxing Association, which the other boxing association, had membership or affiliated to. But before anyone can be recognized by an international boxing association or international federation, they also must be recognized, one, by the Olympic Committee, because it is an Olympic sport, and two, by the Ministry of Sports.
Oh,
And
okay.
apparently, the Grenada Boxing Association, Inc., they have received membership and recognition, I should say, with the Grenada Olympic Committee and the Ministry of Sports. And they are now affiliated to World Boxing. In fact, if you go on worldboxing.org, you will see the information regarding Grenada's membership. All right, they are the latest members to join, and I think it's now 70 something members that have joined, including a few from the Caribbean, right? The Americas, as they call it, right? The hope, though, is that this will be a new opportunity for boxing, because remember what has been happening in terms of boxing. There was one association that was there, they were not doing anything. There was another association that was there that could not have done anything, because if they are not recognized, you know, what much can you do, right? The hope
Yeah.
now is that boxing and the new developments regarding boxing and boxing affiliation in Grenada is that we can see something happening. That's our hope.
Sounds good. Awesome.
In due time, we will have, someone from the Grenada Boxing Association Inc. to be on our program. I can tell you, by way of disclosure, even during that whole period of uncertainty, I've made numerous attempts to get members of the association, that the Grenada Boxing Association, that was affiliated to IBA, to come on our program, and they just refuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's an opportunity, right? But it's good. As it relates to athletics, I'll just touch on some of them. We'll come back and deal with them now. Some of the schools have been taking, holding their championships. In fact, the St. David's Catholic Secondary School championships, it was last Saturday, right? Yeah, last Saturday. In fact, the minister should have been on our program last Saturday, but she had to attend that. And then her regrets for this weekend, because she actually had a meeting, but the meeting was too close to our program. So hopefully we'll have another time, right? In terms of the Minister of Sports, right? I'm hoping that it could be possible next week. I'm just hoping, but we try. They also have made attempts to, but I have not heard from the sports council. So I have started inquiring from the various sports councils regarding parents on the program. And I was hoping to hear from St. Andrew's Sports Council in light of what developments recently regarding the lighting of Progress Park.
Progress Park, yeah.
I think that's a very good development, and certainly, if I don't know about you, Rudian, but if I am in a position in terms of a sports council, right, I am using that to probably call us a special meeting, get minds together, because that's remarkable in a sense that you will have your major sporting venue in the parish being lit.
Yeah.
My thing is that as a sports council, man, we have to get things in motion, because it means then we'll have an opportunity to put on so many things, so many activities, right?
Yeah.
This Progress Park now will become a hub for activities in St. Andrews, because everybody will want to use it.
Yeah,
and all these
to use that.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's lit, so you can have, for example, there's no reason why, as I'm just using an example, St. Andrews development, organization, whatever it has some sporting event on a Saturday, right? And because of that, you can afford to start 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon because you have
Yeah,
lights.
after the okay of
You
lights.
know,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
The
yeah.
development, yeah, it means
Yeah.
a lot. Okay, so I was hoping to, but unfortunately, I didn't get any response. There was some attempts to, get that, and I didn't get no response.
I
Hazel
still
says,
think I still
oh, she owes us. Well, congratulations, Hazel. Your house, Moran, won the championships. What color was that? What color is that, Hazel? Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Rudian.
I
So,
think what it is they are this pause because they are waiting on terms of the budget. However, I did spoke to someone who is on
yeah,
is on it, who's on the the organization as the on the St. Patrick's board, and he indicated to me that they do have meeting with the leaders, regular meetings, but it seems like things should be in motion. There should be a lot of things happening in motion that is not happening. So I don't know if, like I said, I believe, and he also believed because of the budget, they kind of want to see where that goes. But I think she plans stuff now, and when the budget come based on the budget, you know how to
mhm.
work
Well,
things out. So I
yeah.
think that's what it is. But
Listen, my thing
yeah,
is that you don't have to. I mean, you know,
wait.
yeah, you don't have
Yeah,
to.
you don't have to wait. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't have to wait. And there are things that you can do
you can do right now
without. Yeah, there are low
without
hanging
a
fruit
budget. Without
without a
budget,
budget. There are things.
yeah,
There are things that you can collaborate. You can
collaborate without
collaborate
budget.
with. You know.
People are excited for to do things. If you see how you look how we are as Grenadian, we listen. We are the generation who is there now. They still pick up a lot from us by doing the little things that we used to do. But they just want the opportunity, and if the opportunity is not there, then
And,
it looks like oh, it is them.
and going back to your initial question about independence, that's the downside of when you ask 51 years of independence. But you know what?
Yeah. And
These are
what?
some of the improvements that we need, right?
That we need, yeah,
Yeah, a little creativity and these sort of things like that. So we
something
do not have
different,
to wait.
something different. Yeah, yeah,
Why wait? What
yeah,
are you waiting for?
yeah.
Are you saying that they must give you something in hand? They must give you
Something in hand to
no.
do something. Yeah, yeah.
I,
You could have an independent. They probably could. I mean, like I said, because it falls on a Friday. You could have this weekend. I know I talk about St. Patrick Sports Day. Run by just
Yo,
a day on
Rudy,
so
Rudy, and you're saying things that we were hoping since last year. We were
since
saying
last
that
year.
the hope
Yeah,
was that for Independence 2025,
there will be
the
something.
sports councils
Yeah,
will be taking sports to a next level in terms
next
of
level. Yeah,
sports at the community level and all of that.
yeah,
And my thing again is that you cannot just be saying about you're waiting on budget and budget and budget,
hmm
right? There are things you can do, and if I can go back to the whole issue of the sports policy and all these sort of things, there are areas where you can collaborate, right?
yeah.
You can
And Michael,
collaborate,
you talk about
yeah.
lights. You talk about fields that's been lit up. St. Patrick's have six. They have six fields that have been lit. There's only one, and that's the Plains ground that is not lit. Every other ground, from Shantimel to Montreach to Hermitage, River Sally, Rose Hill, Four Recreation Ground, all have light. All of them.
Right.
What's the point of it? Like, and it just no activity is taking place.
Um,
So
uh, so Hazel says greenhouse. So Moran is greenhouse.
yeah.
Congratulations, Moran. Rudy Edwin says, Mr. B and Rudy, and unfortunately I have to drop to attend an item on my honey-do list. Remember, Melrose games this evening at the Armory,
hmm
New
Yeah.
York. Well, yes, we remember that. And then Super Bowl. Come on, come on.
No. I'm sorry.
Come on, Edwin.
I'm sorry, Edwin. They're
Tell
not making
Eagles
a trip.
21.
No, listen,
Ooh.
the history is always good. History is good. And we haven't seen any trip it in a while. In terms of in basketball, we see it with Michael Jordan and then um,
Edwin, no, but
but in terms of this game, no. Fly Eagles fly.
Edwin,
Fly Eagles fly.
you can't be treating your
Yeah,
neighbors like that.
yeah,
You're in New
yeah.
Jersey, and you cannot
Hmm.
be treating your neighbors like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's fly Eagles fly.
Um,
Fly Eagles fly.
I know you're trying to start World War III, but you cannot be treating your neighbors like that. 27 to the Kansas, 21 to
No,
the Eagles. But it could be a close one, but
good. It will be a close game, but I think, well, you know what, I want the Eagles to win, so I certainly rooting for them. Um, but it's going to be a good Super Bowl. It's going to be. It could be one of the best that we have seen in our time. But I think it's going to be a really good Super Bowl because, like I said, the Eagles do want to win for the loss they've been having. They are truly are the underdogs. Nobody expect them to be where they are. Most people believe it was going to be Detroit, and they are there. And of course, Kansas is trying to do history that no NFL team have ever done. That is a tripit. Not winning three championship. Other teams have 5 and 6, but just winning three in a row. No team have ever done it. So there's history on one side, but the underdogs saying that you beat me already, and I get the opportunity, and nobody expect them to be there. So it's going to be a good one.
all right. Good afternoon to you, Chenny.
Hey, Chenny, good evening to you.
Yes, certainly. And let me see some. Yeah, it says that the under 17 boys will be seeking to secure victories in their qualifying matches. What's your thoughts on their chances? Well, I can't, to be honest with you, Chenny, I just saw the names and I'm not in a position because I wish I had seen those guys. To give an assessment, to give some thoughts on that, you have to probably see them, whether it's in a practice game or training
Yeah,
session,
see them
something.
in action.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of difficult at this time, you know, um, to give that sort of assessment of the team and their chances. Because to be honest with you, I've not seen them play as a team, and I really don't know, what, I know they'll be coming up against some stiff opposition, right? Definitely. But, you know, that's
But at
how.
the same time, as long as they wear the colors, they have our full support, and we always believe that that they will do the absolute best, and we want them to win. So we'll be supporting them, in spite of win, lose, draw. We'll be supporting them, but we just hope for the best. But it's hard to say. Like I said, I haven't seen them in action, so it's really hard to say. But I really want, and hope for the best. As long as they are representing Grenada, then they have my full support.
Yeah, well, it's good to know that Raheem Raybon is, around, and
Yeah, yeah, certainly.
um,
Yeah.
a little boy from St. Patrick.
Hmm.
He's good talent.
Yeah,
And
very good talent. Yeah.
I see that that there's some information regarding the the team. Whew, I think Karaku may also be, if I'm not mistaken, Karaku may be represented in that. You know, Let me see. Grenada versus photo highlights of last weekend's friendly between Grenada under 17 and St. Vincent. The Grenadines have cut the previous part. But Chenny, you probably would have gone and looked at the game. So I didn't see that game between Grenada and St. Vincent in a warm up. But I can tell you, in terms of the 21 member squad, we have three goalkeepers. And it's interesting, the information there that they provided. I want to commend them for that because it's in terms of the school and the club they represent. So the
Hmm.
goalkeepers are Keldon Francis from Grenada Christian Academy. He plays for Paradise FC. Toba Abe of St. George's Institute, Karanaj FC. Amori Adolphus of Spotswood High School in New Jersey. So that's a foreign base, as we say, even though they're young, you know.
Yeah.
Defenders are Delron John, St. Andrews Anglican Secondary School, of SAFL. Well, you know, Delron is also an athlete, you know. Raymond Walker, Grenville Secondary School, SAFL. Therese Peters, McDonald College, Eagle Super Strikers. Joshua Tellisford, Presentation Brothers College, Carenage FC. Devontae Felix, also of PBC, but SAFL. Aiden Frederick, T.A. Marshall Community College, FC Camahon. And Kel Roy Peters of McDonald College, Eagle Super Strikers. The forwards, Kate Francis, St. David's Catholic Secondary School, QPRFC, Vision Edwards, Grenada Seventh-day Adventist Comprehensive, Monkridge, Izian Fraser, Monroe College, Jamaica, St. John Sports, Pierre Elkins, Wichita Falls Memorial High School, BBC, Texas. And then the midfielders are Navel Nelson, McDonald College, Eagles, Super Strikers, Kristen Nicholas Boca Secondary School, QPRFC, Rashid George, of St. Andrews Anglican Secondary School, SAFL, Orion Peters, St. Mark's Secondary School, Hurricanes, Raheem Raybon, McDonald College, Eagle Super Strikers, Daniel Moraine, Tam CC, Carenage FC, and Josh Thomas, Hillsborough Secondary School. All right, so that's interesting enough. You know, yeah. So what we can do, wish them the best, and as you say, once they give it their best. He says, I did not see the team play, but I understand they look commendable. All right.
That's good. That's good news.
Looking at the names of the players,
it's a phenomenal team. It's a phenomenal team. Yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of, you know, fitness and all these things, you know, that would be the problem, you know, especially when it comes to, you know, playing time and all these things. They come up against guys who have been playing football for quite a while.
Quite a while, yeah.
Since they're 9 or 10. You understand? That's the thing about when you come to places like USA and Mexico and Canada and these places.
And Spain and those places. They play together.
I'm just looking at the region.
The region, the Americans, yeah.
They are playing football, and in some cases competitive football, even at the age of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, age groups, right? So by the time they get to 15, 16, 17, these guys they are veterans in itself.
And they know each other.
They have been kicking ball for quite a while. They have been in competition for quite a while. That is the idea. We're hoping that our young players, our young sportsmen and women are exposed to the various sporting disciplines at a very early age. Whether it's basketball, volleyball, football. Rudy and I am here in this hotel in New Orleans, and right outside of the hotel there is, not too far, there is beach volley. There's no beach around here. But sand. And it's like a beach volleyball arena or court. And typically on an afternoon like now, so you will see the amount of kids that's there playing volleyball. Yeah. Oh, I'm serious, playing volleyball, right? At this time. And that's the thing about it. And they come in buses, and you know, they obviously probably their parents come in and pick them up after and things like that. So, but they have been exposed to the sport. At a very early age. And that's the hope. You see, and that's where I want to commend Hazel, for example, with, you know, a little, as we say, she's a daughter of the program, right? Yeah, you know, because she has been exposed to it at an early age, right? Yeah. She understands the fundamentals of running and being in competition and winning and losing and, you know, all these sort of things, right? She has competed against kids that have been a bit older than her, bigger than her, you know, all these sort of things. When she started off, she was a bit, you know, as Hazel said, she was a bit timid, and you know, but she has grown into that level now where she has some level of confidence. She's coming up against girls, they're taller, they're bigger than her, stronger than her, but she knows she's in it to fight.
That is
we're hoping, and Kyron might say that too in terms of our basketballers. Chenny probably will say that in terms of our footballers.
Footballers.
You and Hazel would say that in terms of our athletes. Getting them into the sport at a very early age. And that's where parents have to come in too. You know, the parents have to, hey, if the kids want to be a volleyball player, they want to be a footballer, they want to be a cricketer, you have to support them.
You have to
You
let
know,
them. Yeah.
yes, and not just let them, but you have to support. You have to be there,
So,
encourage them, because they will be going through. There'll be times when they will be experiencing, highs and lows.
and
As a
those, yeah.
parent, you have to be there to encourage them, not just the coach or the teacher, but as a parent, right? Because then you will know how they feel when they lose, how they feel when they win. You have to be there to understand the whole excitement, the thrills, and all of that. Yesterday, leaving New Orleans, well, group of dancers going to Disney, and
Mm-hmm.
if you see how many parents were with those kids. The week before, it was the college. This weekend, high schools, the
Yeah.
national dancing
High school
competition
dancing competition. Yeah.
was in Disney. But I
Yeah.
am saying, if you see parents traveling with their kids,
With the kids. I mean, they talk about
yes,
Disney because right after this, they're going to be the lacrosse
mm,
in Disney, and then there's a track and field classic in
right,
Disney. So this is what's happening in Disney, and then on top of in Disney, right there, they have the some of the baseball training
right.
as well.
So
So there's so much happening in there. But I'm just saying, I've seen, and these kids are not only from the United States. These groups of dancers, they're not only from the United States, they're coming from all over, from Mexico, from no, they are coming in, right, in drove, and their parents are with them, not only to be there with them, but to give them full support.
right. So as Jesus says, sports in Louisiana is a big deal, similar to
Yeah,
Texas. You know that in
still in
Texas.
Texas, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You
Texas,
don't
and then Florida,
don't
and
mess
then
around
yeah,
with sports
yeah,
this way like that. So right. Some comments there. Karen says saw them play a friendly in Guelph last weekend against St. Vincent and looks good. A couple of things to adjust and clean up defensively, but in my view, we'll get there with continued hard work. And
yeah.
Hazel is saying it's also important to let the kids experience different sports and not force them to do what we want them to do.
What
Let
we want
them
them to do.
have fun as well. Yeah, especially
Yeah,
at a young age,
yeah.
because
Let
at
them
the
do
young
it.
age
Yeah,
they like to experiment, and
yeah,
sometimes they like to experiment along with friends.
yeah.
So they
That's
would
what it
like to
is.
go
Yeah,
to basketball because their friends go to basketball. Then they may want to
yeah.
do gymnastic, or they might want to go to some football. You know, all
I mean, Michael, my girls been
netball
playing netball. My girls play netball,
in
and then
Grenada.
they do track. Yeah, then they do track and field. Then they just finished soccer, indoors soccer, and they came second. So they're exposed to something. Then my other daughter tried for basketball. She didn't make the final cut, but they're enjoying it. They're enjoying it. They're having fun. Let them have fun.
At a
Let
very
them
young
have fun
age
at a
too.
young age. Yeah,
Yeah, at some point in time, they will gravitate to something because
that
what
day.
they're
Yeah,
doing at a young age is all developing the level of probably team sport, competitiveness, all these
competitiveness.
sort of things.
Or just activities for them, just
Because,
staying active, stay
but, but,
just doing.
but when
Yeah,
you look at it, Rudy, there are a lot of top performers who had an interest in another sport. So, for example, let's look at Bolt, Usain Bolt,
yeah,
cricket. And
yeah,
a lot of people thought Bolt would have gone into basketball, but Bolt was a cricketer, right?
yeah.
Um, but he became he was
That's
never the
good.
best
Yeah.
bowler in the
There
world,
was
but
a
he became
there was a
basketball.
quarterback.
Then,
There was a quarterback who was
then
going to be drafted number one in for baseball, but then he chose playing football. Can't remember the name, but one of the guys plays for one of those teams now, right? He's a quarterback, but he was the number one draft for baseball.
when you
So
listen to Kirani in his interviews, Kirani will tell
yeah,
you basketball. He always enjoyed basketball. That is what he used to
yeah,
say. In fact,
yeah,
his
yeah,
brother Gary was a national player. All these sort of things, right?
yeah.
And things. Then there there's one who plays. cricket even to this day in his community. Trying to remember, but there's one who all so plays. She says my daughter started off with dancing and gymnastics
Dancing and
before
gymnastic
moving
before.
to track
Yeah.
and field. Now,
Hmm.
Afi Fletcher, as you know, top cricketer, but Afi played football. Afi
Yeah.
actually was a national footballer,
Hmm.
represented Grenada in football. Afi was also a referee.
Yeah.
Look at Afi. Afi is a
I
top.
can actually know. Yeah.
Junior Murray was both a national footballer and a cricketer.
No, cricketer. Yeah.
Eventually, we gravitated to cricket because
Yeah.
we had to make a
And
choice.
we've seen that over the years
Yeah,
in Grenada, we see a lot of national football players was at athletics, was superstars in athletics. And we've seen that happening years and years and years over the past years. I mean, I played all the sport. I was pretty, pretty active at the time. And at my age when I came here, I gave up playing soccer to get a Charles on the national junior team here in Canada under 17, and I decided to stick with track. Would everybody have the opportunity, So let them do.
so the person I was trying to remember now, in terms of still an active cricketer, was Johan Blake.
Oh, okay.
He actually plays cricket
Let's cricket, yeah,
at his in his community.
in his community, yeah,
Yeah, he plays for a team in his community.
yeah,
When
yeah.
he's not in track and field, he's actually playing cricket.
Then he's playing cricket,
Yeah,
yeah,
he was a cricketer, right? So that to me, when you give them that opportunity, in terms of playing different sport, and by the way, you have a lot of folks who, for example, I can tell you, Jason Stanislas,
yeah.
a top tennis table tennis player,
Table
lawn
tennis
tennis,
player.
badminton. Yeah, Jason Stanislas.
So
Um, Jason Skeet is another one. Table tennis and tennis,
and
right?
tennis, yeah.
Yeah, they have that set now. Ray Roberts, table
Well,
tennis,
well,
tennis,
and yeah.
and badminton. You know
Bruce
also,
Swan,
yeah.
Bruce Swan,
Mm. Well, Bruce
Bruce,
Swan, remember
Bruce Swan,
Bruce
yeah.
played football. Bruce was a
Football,
sprinter, right?
yeah.
And I'm certain Bruce maybe was probably in other
He
sports.
he probably did cricket.
Right. And
So we have seen it, right? Yeah, Miguel Warwood, same thing, footballer, national on the national team, and he was in athletics at the same time. So
right. Okay. So Kyron says he played both basketball and football in college, right? And that's the thing where you get folks who multi-talented, as we say, multi-talented.
talented, yeah.
Yeah, multi-talented. And I know of
And
folks
it
who.
happens. It happens because where we at now, you see, Michael, in the United States, or if even here in Canada, the number of kids there is, um, and the number of sports that there is to play. Sometimes it's challenging to play all,
Mhm.
especially when you get to that certain age. That's why you try it at a young age, especially in the elementary school. By the time you get to high school, you should have stick to the one sport because you try it all in the elementary school. Like I've said, my girls, they do track and field, they do cross country, they doing everything. You know, by the time they get to a certain age, you're gonna say, "This is the one I want to stick with." Bam, and they stick with it because a team could only have certain amount out here, but we have more of the kids out here than we have in Grenada. So so most of these kids in them, like I said, in most of the schools, they play in almost every sport. Some of these athletics kids in school playing football, basketball, track, they do all the sport. They play all the sport, So they're multi-talented because one, they don't have the numbers to cover one sport to the next. So they're playing all the sport. Right. So it's big difference.
All right. Yep. 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 Um. Yes. So Kyron was saying, yes, you're right. On point. We got to get the kids early and also hold the youth coaches accountable. We have to select the most qualified youth coaches because they have a very important responsibility when it comes to training these kids at that level and during experimentation. They can decide if to quit or continue with the sport they love based on the teachings received, right? So the coaching aspect is very important as well, right? You should know that.
Yes, but even in this comment, Karen, it's going to same thing with education. So if your teacher is not as good, you're going to quit. Sometimes you have to teach them how to hang on to the stuff that they love, right? But we also have a part to play because we made make a big difference in what we instill in them. So we have to around it like Hazeln also when we do work with in our program we talk to them about opening up, speaking up. If something is not working for you, you may want to continue doing it, but you just want to say this is not working for me, so can we try somebody else, can we do something else? I know a lot of kids who switch classes because they believe that the teachers that they had wasn't helping them as they should, and they speak up. So we also got to teach them that too. So it's a rounded situation where we have to teach them everything in terms of standing up for themselves and speaking out and everything. So truly, um we have to have coaches who is have the levels, have the coaching levels, and have the interest in developing the skills because then we're destroying them instead of trying to bring them up.
Yeah, the coaches play a very important role in the
Yeah,
fundamental,
very,
the early
very,
stages, and
in the early stage because they could make them or break them.
yeah, and that's
Yeah,
something I'm hoping that Hazel and the commission can work on in
and that's exactly what they're
2025.
doing. Right? That's
Yeah,
exactly what she's doing. Yeah,
to to have a focus on the coaches. I know a lot of, even though it's athletes commission, right? And and we have to get Hazel back on the program at some time because I have listened and heard a couple of things over the past few weeks, and I think it's important for the athletes commission in particular to be involved or be part of, in the context of some people believe that the athletes commission is only for track and field. And sometimes
no,
I
it's
think
not.
the
Yeah,
word athlete tend to, for many people, connotes with track and
track
field.
and field. Yeah,
But
and it's not.
that's why sometimes, for clarity, I would say sportsmen,
Clarity.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
will always try to say sportsmen and sportswomen,
Sportsman and sportswoman. Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because it encompasses, everyone. And I
So,
think the commission should, I know this, that is what it is, right? And it should be, right?
yeah,
Because there are a lot of fundamentals, there are a lot of issues that I know that affecting some of these sportsmen and sportswomen, and they do not have a voice, right? And
yeah.
I think the commission is one that will probably give to that. And I'm hoping that, you know, in this year in particular, they can also even look at the issue with the coaching because if you can't just, yes, I know it's about an athletes commission, but you cannot just alienate the coaches and things like that. So the coaches might have their own association or whatever it is, but they form a very integral part of what you are doing as a commission in terms of the athletes, right? So you have to make sure that you all have to be, they have to be on the same wavelength, you know. She says that coaching is a craft and you have to be a lifelong learner. Yes, we'll have some workshops for coaches this year. We always include our coaches in workshops as well. We represent all athletes. Again, Hazel, when you say athletes, again, they're thinking it's just track and field.
Track and
You,
field. Yeah,
you
but the
represent
educated
all
point about
sportsmen
it.
and women.
Yeah, but the educated point about it, an athlete is not just a track and field. It's an athlete is also,
Yeah,
and a lot of people don't get that.
but
So
that's what I'm saying.
they need to
Because,
know the difference in an athlete. What and who is an athlete?
well,
Everyone who plays a sport is an athlete.
well, you see, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
When you say athlete, and that's why I try to refrain from saying athlete, especially when I'm speaking in general terms. If
yeah.
I'm speaking about athletics or track and field, I can refer to the athlete, etc., because it directs the
They're to
conversation
one
to that.
person,
When
individual.
I'm
Yeah,
talking in general,
yeah.
if I have
It's
a
his
conversation
sportsman,
about track
sportsman.
and
Yeah.
field now, if we have a program about track and field, I can talk about athletes. But if we have a general conversation talking about sports, all sports, I will say sportsmen and sportswomen as a form of clarity. But if I say athlete, I will give clarification as to that because they'll think, oh, it's track and field or athletics. No, it's not that. But as she says, all sportsmen and women. So the
Yeah,
athletes, when they speak about the athlete in this context, we refer to
yeah.
all men and women, right? So
But I
for instance,
also have to, yeah, we also have to educate them too, right? Because you know, if you come out here in the world, they're gonna say athlete.
yeah,
They wouldn't say sportsman and sportswoman. So you
yeah,
also when you're writing a paper or reading something, they're gonna say athlete. So we also have to learn how to use the word athlete that to represent all sportsmen and women.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's important. And by the way, we have some athletes, track and field athletes, who are competing this weekend. We have some track and field athletes who are competing. I know Jamara is competing because she did indicate it to me that she is competing this weekend. I'm not so sure about anyone in the lineup, um, you know, today in terms of representing, let's say, Grenada or so like that, um, at the Armory, right?
Yeah,
The Melrose Games. I'm not certain about if we have any one, but we do
that is
have
not to my knowledge. Yeah,
we do have some competition, some athletes in competition this weekend, and certainly during the during the week, we'll have some results that we can give you. It's a you know, it's a hectic weekend for sportsmen and sportswomen, right? A hectic weekend. So many things because there are folks who are putting all the emphasis and concentration on Super Bowl.
Super
And then there are those who have, well, not Edwin, because Edwin, yes, Edwin is in track and field, and then we still probably have to get in some rest for Sunday night Super Bowl. The, the sad thing about it is that I can't, I may not be able to watch everything or all because sadly enough is that I'm scheduled to work from 10:30 that night. 10:30 that night. So I may be on my way to work here in New Orleans, right? But
Yeah.
because it's a special sec, sec specialized section.
Yeah, specialized.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So after
But the big about this game, Michael, is that almost every major sport, basketball and hockey, that is on right now, if they are playing those games will be before 6:30 and
oh,
will
come
most
on,
likely be finished.
you
They don't play no games in
you
between that. They
you have
don't nothing,
you have to be in
nothing.
Hong Kong or somewhere there to
Yeah,
some other activity where
yeah,
the time zone is different, right?
yeah.
But in terms of this part of the world at this time,
That's
um,
the only thing.
by the
There is
way,
no other.
the
Yeah,
network normally the networks will counter program, right?
yeah.
Because they know Fox will be carrying the Super Bowl.
The Super
So if
Bowl.
NBC and CBS have to come with something that you really
Yeah,
try to get people to look at, because if not, you know,
yeah.
um, you know, if not, people will be tuning into Fox, right? So
Yeah, but and people do that because they even with Fox, some of them have the special commercials. Some of them have because that's the big money for a lot of this these television stations as well, right? Huge. So they are different commercial. People just want to come and watch the halftime show. People does this. Everybody is for something. Everybody is for something different. Then you have um the president will be there for the first time. No sitting
yeah,
president have
a
ever
sitting president,
been
yeah.
been at the Super Bowl. Then you have Jill Biden. She's neighboring. I'm pretty sure she's from Philadelphia. She will be there because they're from Pennsylvania. So she'll be there. So the national security right now, New Orleans will be the most secure spot in the country. Because they can say wherever the president is, you know. The security is beyond believable. So certainly it will be fun. It will be good. Either you're
All
green
right.
or you're red. So you know
Let me take this opportunity to congratulate Ray Roberts, Michelle Huckley, Goldie Robinson, recipient of the awards for our critical
yes.
like an expansion to include field officials in time and posthumously. Hazel is saying we are also starting a new initiative spotlighting sportsmen and women on and off the field on the Grenada Athlete Commission page weekly. We will love all stakeholders to help with this initiative. The survey will be shared with all federations and stakeholders. And Kyron is saying, MB, don't worry, you'll get the score nice and early when the Eagles take care of your Chiefs. Listen, Kyron, I don't have any horse in that race there because I'm just saying the Chiefs just need to give someone else a chance. You just need to give some horse in the race, but I just think they're time up. They need to give someone else. And I mean, to be honest with you, the Eagles, they work. They work hard to be there.
They work hard. Like I said, they wasn't expected to be there. Most people think it was going to be Detroit. Most people believe it was going to be Detroit because of their record, right?
Well, even the Washington
too, right?
Yeah, Washington.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills.
And the Bills. Buffalo Bills. Every game again. They get there and it's like what, 6 years in a row, something like that. Like they're right there and they knocking on the door, and the door is not opening. So yeah, surely. But I know it's time to go. Just before we go, just wrap it up. We did something a while back, Michael. We had Mr. Andel on the show, and then we certainly raised a big issue with the full recreation ground. So we know that it will be up and running. McDonald College Sports will be taking place there on the 6th of March. I think right after will be the St. Patrick's Sports. So that means they have done their job. Seems like the field is up and ready to run.
Okay,
it's not ready yet because the St. Patrick's RC School had to go to the Hermitage school to have them meet. Because the field is not quite ready, but they believe that it would be ready. So that's good news. Like I said, I believe that initiative truly started with us by asking the one question, and that put almost everybody in Grenada awake and trying to figure what's happening in St. Patrick's with the full recreation ground. So surely that is some really good news to hear.
Well, yes, that is. I was looking at. I was trying to get. I didn't think I got all, but I was looking to see if I can get all the information regarding the over the years the winners. I actually got a special from USA Today, and they were had sort of breakdown in terms of the
years of the winners, the championship years.
The winners and things like that. So it's a nice little cartoon AI creation of, I love this to be exact,
This is nice,
Yeah, nice little, because you see your boy Jalen Hurts in the middle there. And then you have that's Jalen Hurts, and then you also have Saquon Barkley. Yeah, and thing. So just for the folks, the game is Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, at the Superdome, New Orleans. TV will be Fox, and then for those in Spanish, Telemundo, Fox Deportes and Telemundo. It will be streaming also on Tubi and Fubo. And the halftime performer, Kendrick Lamar, right? But this year is a very interesting piece because I was looking at since Super Bowl 2016. Let me see. They just go random years. They look at see all in 1982 Washington over the Miami Dolphins. But remember, there was a time the Patriots, as they say, the Patriots ruled Super Bowl.
Brady, not Brady. That's somebody's name off my head. But the Patriots was in full control at one point.
Yeah. All right then. Well, Rudian, So thanks very much.
Certainly, we do expect a major snowstorm
Again,
tonight.
is that the East
Tonight
Coast or just
at
Toronto?
I think it's Toronto area because the north have about 10 centimeters of snow from last night.
Mhm.
But I think we are going to get ours, they say 15, starting about 10 o'clock tonight. So, and go through the day tomorrow. So, that's why we'll be up here swimming in snow. So, if anybody wants snow to buy, I'm selling. So, just, just reach out to me. Those of you guys in Grenada, if you're hot, you want some snow, I'm selling. So, you can buy. So, we're going to have a lot of it.
All right, then.
So you enjoy the game. Certainly, it's going to be a good place to be. And be careful out there, because some of these people could be crazy.
Yeah,
So please do careful. But
yeah.
certainly, you know how it is.
Thanks for the advice and reminder. It's something we have to
Yes,
be
yes,
reminded of.
yes. When people,
Every day we get to know
I
a
mean,
different.
and not only that too, because yes, you do. Because but recently there was that you know, that attack in New Orleans, So yeah.
Yeah, get some
Yeah,
Christmas
Taylor.
without. Yeah, get some
Perfect.
groceries
I
for
know.
our little boy. Yeah, yeah.
And it's so funny. I was thinking about cooking out alone tomorrow. Funny she said that. And I said, man, I'm coming from church. And by the time I get home, do I have time before the game done to to get it done? But I did thought about it. I really thought about, man, I could make out alone tomorrow.
It'd be nice to because the Superdome is covered, right? So
Yes,
it'd
yes.
be nice to be watching the Super Bowl while snow is falling in your area. That
Yeah,
will make a great.
listen,
Can you imagine you watch
listen.
Super Bowl, snow is
Well,
falling, snow is falling,
yeah.
score
And
is
you're having some Aldom. And you're having some Aldom.
well, come on, man. You know, that
uh,
to me is a great combination.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you.
Because consider it your Independence weekend, right?
Independent weekend,
Your
surely. That's
Independence
true.
weekend.
That's true. Yeah.
So get your oil long ready. Snow is falling, and
Snow
you
is falling
at
and you're watching the Super Bowl.
yeah, at,
Yeah. And it's a different Super Bowl because, I mean, you're talking about it's not a regular game. Everything is going to take its time. The halftime is now longer than what it usually be because of the performance, right? So it's a totally different game for these guys and them. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
all right then.
Certainly, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Yeah, no problem. And thanks again, you supporters who've been supporting us for time and week after week after week. You guys have enjoy the Super Bowl as well. From wherever you are in the world, you can enjoy the Super Bowl.
Thanks
All
very
right
much,
then.
Julian.
No problem.
Okay then. Folks, that's Rudy and Sylvan, my co-host in Toronto, Canada. Signing off for this weekend. And one final note from Kyron. He says that we'll be doing a spice on the recently concluded Subway Championship. We have a serious lack of fundamentals in our game, and that needs to be addressed urgently, or else nowhere with basketball the deficiencies need to be identified now. Well, certainly, I understand that, Kyron. I understand the passion. I understand the need to do all of that because it's important. And I want to thank you for your continued, you know, what should I say? Your continued and unwavering, you know, support and passion for the sport of basketball. Right? Thank you very much, Kyron, and all the best. And folks, that's all for our program this weekend. Hopefully, you can join us come next weekend for another in our series of program Talk Sports. Hopefully, we'll have either the Minister of Sport or we'll have someone from one of those organizations talking to us about developments within. Until then, do have yourself a pleasant weekend.